Here's three sleeper tight ends heading into Week 10. The first guy is Irv Smith Jr. of the Minnesota Vikings. This guy, I've spoke about him a lot over the last month, and last week he finally delivered when I didn't even expect him to deliver. It was a fluky game. He had 2 catches for 10 yards and 2 touchdowns. But this guy, they obviously like him in the red zone. He's not going to be expected to get the ball down there when you got Dalvin Cook, Adam Thielen, and Justin Jefferson. But he's playing more snaps as Irv Smith. So he's going to get more playing time. The Vikings are rolling now. Their last 2 games this week, he's got a tough matchup versus Chicago. But believe it or not, they give up the 9th most fantasy points to tight ends. And Smith, he's out there in 90% of leagues. So if you need a sleeper, he's a guy I would go out there and probably start with some confidence after last week and a few weeks ago with good performances. The next guy I'm going to look for at tight end is Gerald Everett. It looks like he's the tight end over there in Los Angeles for the Rams. Tyler Higbee's been a big disappointment. Many managers held on to Higbee way too long this season because of the season he had last year at the end as a top 5 fantasy performer at tight end. But Everett, the last few weeks, he's put up some solid points. In his last 2 out of 4 games, he's had double-digit fantasy points, and he's getting pretty good targets. His last game, he had 9, and the game before that, 5. So he's got 14 targets in his last 2 games. He's entering a shootout versus Seattle in a game you know is going to go up and down the field in a division matchup. So Gerald Everett, he's not a bad option to get and play as a sleeper at tight end, and he's available in 92% of leagues. And the third and final tight end, it's another Indianapolis Colt on this sleeper list, and that's AlieCox. We saw AlieCox come back last week, and Cox, he was pretty good the first few games of the season. Then he got hurt. Trey Burton came back, so Burton was getting the looks. But last week, Cox, in his return, 3 catches, 43 yards, and he's a little bit of a stretcher of the field for Phillip Rivers. Like I said, Rivers, he likes hitting those tight ends and those running backs out of the backfield more than his receivers this year. You could just see what Pascal and T.Y. Hilton not getting the production. But Cox and Burton and Doyle, they were all getting the timeshare on the field. They're getting some decent touches most weeks. And every week it seems like at least one of them scores a touchdown or 2 between the 3 guys. So AlieCox, he's a decent sleeper play this week. He's available in 97% of leagues. So if you need a guy tonight or you're in a super deep league or whatever, he's a sleeper. So that's 3 sleeper tight ends I got going heading into Week 10.